Hello guys, and welcome back to Ashley Main Makes, and welcome to my new sewing space. So I'm very excited to be back. This is my first real video that I'm filming in my space, and I'm excited to bring you guys here. It's still a bit of a work in progress. It's a bit of a disaster still, but I am to the point where I can sew, so I'm very excited. But with all that being said, let's get into the real reason why we are filming today, which is to do my review of my memademay. So if you haven't heard of memademay before, it is a very long-standing challenge in the sewing community, and the idea behind it is to actually wear your sewn garments. But it's very much a choose your own adventure type challenge. Some people just, share one garment they've made in the month of May, and some people go as far as sharing every single day on Instagram, wearing head to toe sewn garments down to the underwear. So it's up to you. A lot of people interpret this in different ways. It's not so much about like trying to sew a bunch of garments in May as it is about actually wearing them. And so I think that's really good, just to make you think about what you're sewing and what you're wearing. This is the first year I'm like really fully participating. Like a few years I've posted like the odd post on Instagram during May, but I'm really not very good at it. So this year I decided to really challenge myself and post what I was wearing to work all 5 days of my work week. If you didn't know, I have started a brand new job. So I'm in an office full time again, 5 days a week. Which, after working from home for 4 years, this is definitely a bit of a shock. And my old wardrobe is completely gone, and also I kind of hate it for the most part. And so what I'm trying to do is kind of discover what I need for an office, what holes I have in my wardrobe as far as an office goes, and kind of think about what I like to wear and trying to be more intentional about what I'm making, because right now I honestly just need clothes. I want to try and, still have fun with my sewing and try and be engaged with it and do creative things, but I want to be really intentional about the pieces I'm making and that hopefully they'll work into my work wardrobe, because I really just need some new outfits. Anybody that sews knows that after a while you sort of get spoiled by clothes that fit you really well. So the prospect of going into a store and buying a bunch of ill-fitting clothes, in my case especially like trying to buy a button down that's going to fit my boobs, is not going to happen. So what I thought I would do today is walk you guys through all the things that I wore in May and like my thoughts on them and how well they're working in my wardrobe. And then I'm going to go through kind of like my plans. So what I'm thinking of making, kind of some ideas I'm having of things to add to my wardrobe. And I would really love you guys' input on this. I think I have a lot of thoughts, but it's really helpful to get like an outsider's opinion. It's really hard to be objective about your own wardrobe. And I think your dream life versus what your life actually is are two very different things. So anyway, that's a long rambly way to say we're going to be reviewing what I actually wore and then what pieces that I would like to make for my new office wardrobe. All right, so let's get into it. I am going to be referencing my phone a little bit here. Forgive me, guys. But I just want to make sure I've got all the details correct as I'm going through this. So for day 1 and 2, I am wearing my absolute favorite, which if you've been around the channel for a hot minute, is the Charm Patterns Stanwyck skirt. This is the 6-score full circle version that I always make. I've really hacked this pattern at this point. I've added an elastic little back hack. I do my own pockets that I've drafted in it. I use some band roll in the waist, and I do like a bias hem all the way around it. So it's very much my own at this point. I love this way these skirts drape. They take less fabric than doing a full circle skirt, and I like the way they wave much better. But if you've been around for a hot minute, this lime one that I wear on day 1 is bizarrely my favorite skirt. I've worn it nearly every week since I've made it. It's made out of this Essex cotton linen blend, and which is one of my favorite fabrics. It's so easy to work with. Surprisingly, this lime green color goes with everything in my wardrobe. I don't know how that's happened. I thought it would go with nothing when I made it, but actually it goes with everything I own. I've already fixed the waistband twice, and I'm probably gonna have to fix it again because I didn't do it quite right last time. But absolutely love it. Favorite skirt ever. Wear it all the time. Day 3, we have a self-drafted skirt out of some beautiful vintage 70s fabric from Tanya Hughes at Tanya Mail on Instagram. She makes absolutely beautiful retro clothes. Love her page. She's another plus size gal. Brilliant. But yeah, if you've been around the channel for a bit, this is also up on the channel. So I'll leave a link to the tutorial up above. This tutorial is really fabulous. I've made this skirt a couple of times. You will see another version that I made on some of the subsequent days here. So it's a really good tutorial. It's like, I kind of feel like it's an underrated video, honestly. So you should go watch it if you haven't. Day 4, we have a very hacked version of the Charm uniform skirt. I have an upcoming video, probably the next video, on this skirt and its brethren coming out soon. So do hit that subscribe button and the bell if you haven't already, because my schedule's been a little erratic and I would deeply appreciate it. But this is also another beautiful vintage 70s fabric. This one is actually from Stephanie Canada. If you watch her channel at all, her website is at Backroom Finds. So I will leave all the links to that down below, so you can also go buy some beautiful 70s fabric. But I absolutely love this one. I love the drape on this skirt, but I'll, again, like a sneak peek. Next up is that same self-drafted skirt. So it's that same exact method of doing it, only this is in some navy suiting from Joann's. So this really shows you the versatility of doing a pleated skirt like this. It's pleated in the front with slash pockets and elastic back. So it's very comfortable, but still I think looks really crisp and nice. And this is with another ready-to-wear top again. So, you know, don't blame me. I really want to make a version of this top. This is one I've had from Old Navy for like a really long time. I want to say maybe even pre-pandemic, this one. So I really love this cream top. I've worn it like a lot. So I think I've got a few tops that I could hack something pretty close to it. But since I have this one, I haven't yet. But let me know if you'd like to see that. All right, so we are going to jump right into week 2. So for week 2, I had the Twig and Tail Vista top, but I absolutely love this pattern. You'll see that it kind of carries as we've gotten into the warmer days. I've been wearing these tops a ton because I made them out of linen, and they're like the only blouses I really have right now. They're really carrying, they're really fast to make. I think I might make some more as well, even though I've been wearing nothing but them. I'll leave that video up above, but I'm wearing the flutter sleeve version, which is from the sleeve expansion pack that they have. And of course, wearing it with said lime green ubiquitous skirt that I wear every week. Day 2, I'm actually wearing my hacked Rita Stanwyck. Again, just like another favorite. I did a little short on this, leave it up above. But this is the Rita blouse, which is actually what this dress is that I'm wearing right now, with the Stanwyck skirt hacked onto it. So again, another appearance of my favorite skirt. This I don't think looks that professional just on its own. But I'm wearing it here with one of the cardigans over top, which I think looks really nice because it's got this little bit of a brown sort of star almost on this dark green fabric. And then I actually wore it with a pair of brown leather boots. I actually think it looked quite nice as an outfit. I did get lots of compliments on it that day. And it's quilting cotton, so it's really nice and comfortable. So there's that. Wednesday. Oh yeah, okay. So Wednesday we have an appearance of another Vista blouse. This is one I actually made off camera, but it is also made of that same, I believe it's the from fabric-store.com. Same linen as the ones I made it in that video, but in this time it's in this cream. I can't remember what they call the cream, but I made this cream version with another one of the sleeve expansions. In this case, I actually originally made it up just exactly as the pattern has it, where it's pleated into the cuff. But I ended up ripping that out and actually just adding elastic into the cuff just because it isn't a linen. I think if I had made it in a cotton, then I could like iron those pleats back in. But because it's a linen and it's just so wibbly, I'd rather let it be linen and look like linen, you know, like versus trying to hammer the pleats back in and have it be all crinkly. At least I find when I wash the elasticated cuffs, it looks intentional that way. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well, but yeah, I do really love this. I feel like it gives these 50s-ish skirts almost like a more 70s vibe, which I'm kind of into. I was experimenting with setting my hair in this clip, so it's a little like overly curly. I didn't fully brush this set out right, but anyway, we're experimenting. We're trying to get to a point where I can set my hair better, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So tips on that also down below, because I know a lot of you are brilliant at that, but I'm bad at doing hair generally. Did I totally miss? Oh, no. Okay, so Thursday. This day I was actually on a business trip. We were having a big opening at our other office. And so I was trying to both be comfortable and look really nice. So I had just finished off this new Friday Pattern Company skirt. I am planning on doing the top. I have too many projects started all at once right now, which is not ideal. So anyway, I finished the skirt. I'm absolutely in love with it. It is a Liberty of London cotton lawn in the Strawberry Thief print, which is a William Morris print. I'm going to talk a lot about this in an upcoming video. Again, this is also sort of a sneak peek once I get the top done. But yeah, so I was looking for something to go with this that I could wear for this kind of evening. And again, the only blazer I currently own is this red one that I got. It's out of a Ponte, so it's very comfortable. This is like a ready to wear one again. So I'm wearing it with that same cream old navy blouse and then this blazer over top. And I actually think it's a really adorable outfit, and it worked out really well for this trip because I was actually like really warm when I was helping to set up, so I could at least like take the jacket off, put the jacket back on in the evening. I think it was quite a cute outfit, and still travel in that skirt and have it be really comfortable. So I'm extremely happy with that outfit. And then Friday, we were driving back. I was actually on a site and then in a car for like 3 hours. So again, I'm wearing my elastic back skirt and I'm just wearing like, you know, a long duster sweater with it and just like a t-shirt. You know, when I was working from home, I honestly just wore like a t-shirt and some sort of skirt almost every day. That was kind of my uniform when I was working from home. So, you know, that's great. Like, I love these elasticated skirts. So I'm going to talk about the gap that was week 3. So because of that trip, I actually caught a wicked cold and I was really sick, and also it was a holiday on the Monday here in Canada. So yeah, so I had Monday off and then I was sick on like Tuesday, Wednesday. So there was only like 2 days where I was even wearing things and I felt like garbage. So we're just gonna ignore that happened. As I recall, I wore my green skirt again and the sweater again. I'm pretty sure those 2 days were repeats if I'm recalling correctly. So you didn't miss anything. I'm a little sad about not hitting my goal of actually recording every day, but you know, shit happens when you're starting a new job and it's all new germs and you're exposed to a whole bunch of new people. It's bound to happen that I would get sick. So we do what we can. We do what we can. So let's get into the final week. We'll talk about the final week. Most of it is also repeats. I don't have that big of a wardrobe, surprisingly, for doing this sewing. You know, if you're sewing most things you're wearing, it builds up pretty slowly over time. It's not something where you magically have a giant wardrobe. I know some people do, but I'm a pretty slow sewist, so you know, kind of almost what you guys see is almost what I make. You know, I'm hoping to up the production a little bit because I kind of need some clothes, but on the other hand, it's like I'm getting a lot of wear out of the clothes that I'm making, so there's that. Let's start out with Monday again. So we have my favorite vintage fabric skirt. Again, my 70s fabric skirt, and I am wearing that linen twig and tail again with the sleeve expansion. Again, really fun, sort of experimenting with that whole 70s riff on skirt and blouse. I did really like it from the other week, so kind of trying it with another skirt. The Tuesday was actually like one of the warmest days that we had had so far. It had been pretty cold and miserable and raining here up until that day, and so I decided to crack out a very summery outfit. So this is my 1940s hacked version of the Cashmere Rose Claire. So I do have a video on doing that hack and I'll leave it up above, but it's made out of some rayon crepe from the now defunct fabric.com, and again my lime green skirt. Do I have to explain it? But I absolutely love this outfit. It was nice to crack it out again. I do really love this blouse. Like, looking at the videos of this blouse on me, I feel like it's a really good shape on me. So, you know, I think that's the other good thing about filming this, is it kind of gives you a better idea of what looks really good on you. So I think I'd like to make like a solid color, like slightly dressier version of this top too. I haven't actually made any more versions since I made this original one, so it might be something to add to the list. Wednesday, again, the Stanwick skirt. This is the cream one. We're wearing it the same way as week one. This is a ready-to-wear sweater. I oddly love this skirt with yellow, and I don't know, it doesn't go with as much as I thought it would with all the different colored flecks. I feel like you gotta kind of get the balance of color right, but you know, repeat. Thursday, we have another appearance of the Friday pattern Saturday skirt set skirt, and with the original Twig and Tail Vista blouse. This is the one I originally made for the pattern test, and this is in the emerald version, I believe, of that IL-19 linen. Again, love this pattern. Can't say enough positive things about it. It's great. It's fabulous. And then Friday. So this one is a slightly nicer ready-to-wear t-shirt, and I'm wearing the navy version of that pleated skirt hack that I did previously. Kind of love this one. This is like an upscale version of my regular uniform, which is really great. So, you know, that's like a nugget to take and go away with. All right. So now that you guys have been able to see everything I wore and judge me on how professional or not I appeared, I thought we would talk about kind of my takeaways about what I wore and how I'm feeling about it, and kind of some of the holes I think there are and some of the things that I want to plan on making. I think some of the things that I noticed is, now that I've gotten like later on into the month and now that we're into June, I really was using those few cardigans that I bought as a bit of a crutch. I was wearing them a lot to kind of dress things up when it was cooler. And now it's been quite hot in my office, honestly, so I haven't really been able to wear them. And so now that I haven't been able to wear those, I feel like my wardrobe is really lacking on things that look more professional, as kind of silly as that sounds. So I do really need to work on like things to wear on the top half of my body. I'm always going to make a lot of skirts. That's just like a thing. I love making skirts, but I think the tops really help to switch up an outfit. And, you know, I kind of need more tops than bottoms. At this point, I have more bottoms than tops. So right now I'm like in a phase where I need to kind of rectify that balance and kind of think about what I want to make moving forward. So I think the other thing that I was thinking a lot about those cardigans is it's pretty similar to my kind of work from home uniform that I was wearing, where I was basically wearing like some sort of t-shirt and a skirt pretty much all the time. I don't know. So it's just something I'm thinking about as I'm going through this process, is like, I want to be comfortable and I want to feel like me while I'm doing this whole thing. So let's talk about sweaters first. Let's talk about things I'm making. So as far as the sweaters go, I think I made some really solid purchases here as far as like buying ready to wear goes, as much as I don't like to do that often anymore. These really saved my butt. These were all from Old Navy, all bought at the same time. They're these like cropped cardigan sweaters. I bought them in like a camel, a cream, and then this pumpkin color that I wear all the time that I love. And they do go with pretty much everything I have, which is great. But, you know, they do not fit me the greatest. That's one thing about watching yourself a month of outfits, is you notice like the little details of the things that are not fitting you quite right. So you can tell in some of the clips where like I could use a full bust adjustment in these sweaters, and they aren't like bang bang on. Even though knits are pretty forgiving, you can kind of see where they aren't. So I think it's something to think about. It is really hard to find good sweater knits, so I would love any recommendations as well in the comments of places in Canada where you guys get good knits from, because that's been a challenge. And honestly, I'll probably kick this can closer to the fall when it starts getting cold again. I really will not need these in my office till then, but some of the ones I'm looking at is like the Cashmere Fuller cardigan. This is very similar to the two I've been wearing a lot, which is the cream one and the brown one. So this is very, very similar vibes, but just cashmere fitting. So, you know, this is would be nice if I don't have time. I do have sweaters. It will work. But it might be something to look at down the road. Same thing, very similar. The Charm Turner cardigan, similar vibes. The difference between the Cashmere one and the Charm one, the Cashmere one has a raglan sleeve and the Charm one is like a regular set-in sleeve. Both come in cup sizes. Both are kind of a thing. Both of them I think would be good options if I get there in the fall. Again, these are not on my immediate list. The other one that I've looked at doing, which I'm pretty solidly gonna do, and I was actually gonna do towards the end of the winter, but I ran out of time, is I want to do a Cashmere Appleton hack, where I do the Cashmere Appleton wrap dress, only I just do the top half and I make it in a sweater knit. I've made it in a sweater knit before and it is absolutely beautiful. So I would love to have sort of one in a similar rust color. I actually already put this one on my Make 9 list for the year. So I think in the fall, that one's definitely going to happen because I really love the way wrap things look on me. And I think they do look dressy while not having a collar. And it's sort of like a nice to have if I have time. Like I do have sweaters, they do work. If I don't get time, I don't get time, and that happens, and I'm like gonna forgive myself. That has been one thing about going back into an office and like commuting and getting ready. Like it is taking up a lot more of my day than working from home did. And so I'm not quite able to get near as much sewing done as I did. You know, I'm going to be mentioning a lot of patterns here, but realistically, I'm probably going to make one or two things out of either category. So let me know which ones are your favorites, which ones you'd most like to see me make, and what you think would look the best on me, because I really need to make the most of the sewing time I have to make things that are going to make me feel good and that I'm going to get a lot of wear out of. That's kind of what that's what we're shooting for. That's what we're going towards. So with all that in mind, we're going to talk about shirts because as I mentioned, I need more shirts. 3 Vista blouses does not a whole wardrobe make, unfortunately. I really do think I would like to work on making some stuff with some collars that looks a little bit dressier. I don't always love a full collar and a full collar stand. I have a lot of hair and I have kind of a short neck, so I often don't like kind of shrinking the distance between the two. So, you know, I think if I do make some collared shirts, I think I'd like them to be in a like maybe a less structured fabric. That might be one way to go. Or some of the other patterns I'll talk about have more of like a flat collar, where it's more of like a, not a Peter Pan collar, but like a camp collar, let's call it, like a flat collar that doesn't have the collar stand, because then that's not protruding up, but still kind of gives me that more professional look of having a collar or something there around my neck. It's also just really helpful for being on like Zoom calls and things. Like, even though I'm back in the office, we still are on a lot of calls, and you know, it's nice to have something like up around your face that has a bit more interest to it. So that's kind of the other thing I'm trying to keep in mind when I'm working on some of these tops. So the first one I've got is the Cashmere Vernon top. So I did a poll actually on my community tab. So if you're not subscribed, do subscribe, because then you'll see these community polls. But I polled you guys on kind of which button down you guys thought I should make, and this was the winner. And honestly, I was kind of leaning towards this one anyways, but I don't know. I wasn't sure if I'd spammed you guys with cashmere. The other ones I had looked at was the new one from Friday Pattern Company, but that would require a pretty massive full bust adjustment. I had like one of the big 4 ones on there. There was a few options, but the cashmere one hands down. So, you know, I think that might be a good place to start. If nothing else, I would like a couple shirts. I think it'd be nice to have just a couple. Like I don't see myself wearing them every day, but I think it would be nice to have them as like an option if I was going to a more formal meeting. I also like the option of them kind of like loose or like tied up over a skirt. I think that's a really cute look. So, you know, looking at something to get a lot of wear out of it. The other shirt that I'm definitely thinking about is the Saturday skirt set shirt that goes with that skirt that I already showed you guys that I made from the Liberty Lawn. So this one's already on the docket. I already have the pattern. I already have fabric picked out. I think when you see it in the photos on the actual pattern cover, it looks very casual because they've got it tied up like where you can see midriff and stuff. But I actually saw a version over at Rick Rack Textiles, I believe it is, here in Calgary. And they are a beautiful sewing store. That is gonna spoil me rotten. I already bought this pattern on a whim while I was there one day because they have a lot of the patterns and the books there in the store. One of the gals had actually made up this top, and the way she had it wrapped on the mannequin was like a full wrap and tied in the back. And actually it gave like full coverage to the skirt, and it was really nice. And then I went on Instagram and looked at a bunch of photos, and actually a lot of women are wearing it this way, and I really like it a lot. I think it looks quite retro, and it looks a lot like a couple of tops that I wanted to buy but weren't in my size, so that's really cool. So, and it kind of hits both marks, like it's got a collar and it's a wrap thing, which looks really good on me. So I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to make it and wear it. I think I'm gonna try and make it a short sleeve instead of that the long sleeve into the elasticated cuff, just because I think that would look a little bit dressier, and it's summer. So, and I think with more of the weight of that lighter weight skirt, I think it'll be nice. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to showing you guys that. I'm hoping that's going to come in an upcoming video pretty shortly here. Kind of similar. So, you know, here's a couple I'm thinking about. So one of them is the sew over at Zadie blouse. This was on my Make 9 list. I think it was like on my Make 9 list last year. I have the pattern already. I have the fabric I want to make it out of. It would be really nice. I don't know what's stopping me, honestly, other than it's like, you know, it is kind of work. Like I gotta fit it. It's got like a placket on it. It needs a serious bust adjustment. It's just one of those things where it's like, why haven't I done it really? Like, I think I want to lower the neckline too, and I think that's what's scaring me a little bit, but I love the shape of it. I do really like, when I was working before, I wore a lot of raglan sleeve sort of tops like this that were like slightly like somewhere between like fitted a little bit more and like a little bit fitted and not like total peasant blouse. Like this one has a fit that's somewhere in between. So it's quite comfortable, I think. So I should really just buckle down and make it because I do really like it and it's been on the list for so long. And the other two I'm going to mention just like popped up on the list. They're like Whim Makes. The Charm Honor Roll top, it came out this month. I thought this might be kind of another option of like, it's an ish collar. Like it's not really a collar. I feel like this would be a really fast make, and I have some fabric that I think would look beautiful in it. So it might even just be one I print off and slap together one day. I think it would be one of those ones like versus the Zadie blouse. I know that one will take me a couple hours. The Zadie blouse will take me more than a couple hours. So it's like, same thing. The other one I've been looking at is the Helen's Closet Gilbert top. I know it's sort of a fan favorite, but I do like that it's more of a camp collar where, again, it's a flat collar. So I think that might be really nice. I have, again, some fabrics that I think would work for it. So let me know what you want to see in the top department. I've got lots of thoughts. We have lots of ideas. We have lots of things we could make. I have fabric for most of them. It's just kind of, I don't know what it is. I'm getting over the hurdle of making them. So we'll look at it. So the third category is dresses. So I've really missed wearing dresses a lot, but none of my dresses are work appropriate, basically. I was living in Texas. It was hot 95% of the time. And so all my dresses are like sort of like light and summery. There's maybe a little bit more boob than you would necessarily want for the office. So there's a lot of things like going against them. Like as much as I love this dress, and I think I could probably wear it to work and no one would say anything, it's a little frou-frou. It's not as professional as I might like. And so I think I'd like to make some dresses that still allow me to be light and comfortable. Maybe you're a little bit like bloaty for no reason at all. And I think this is really on my list for the summer. I think the first one I would like to make is actually the Deer and Doe Maya Sotis dress. I think this is a definite, like this definitely has to happen. Not only did my beautiful friend get me this pattern and she's made it and looks delightful, but I also think it would be basically perfect because it has like a collar stand, but not a full collar, and then it's got a nice V-neck on it. In the pattern, like itself, it shows it hanging loose, but a lot of people have added like a little tie to the side seam to be able to tie it up, so that way you can have it like as tight or as loose as you want, depending on where you're at that day, which I always love in a pattern. So I think this is like one I really, really want to make. I've got some fabric already for it, so that one I think is gonna have to happen. We're gonna see how roughly or not we want to go. But yeah, I'm really excited about making that one. So I think that's like a definite. The next ones I'm thinking about is doing a shirt dress. So again, I've wanted to make this for a while. This has been on the docket for a while, but shirt dresses are work, right? You've got like collar and many, many buttons and getting it to fit, and maybe like some sort of placket action or cuff or something going on. It's been on the list for a while, but it's one of those things I haven't done and I would really like to do. I think I would be so comfortable in that and I would get a lot of work, like a lot of use out of it. I have a couple patterns that I've pulled. I don't know if I'm quite happy with either of them, to be honest. So the first one up is the Charm Pattern Scout Dress. Now, this pattern is absolutely super popular and I have it because I'm on her Patreon. She came out with a 3/4 sleeve expansion, which I think is just like, mwah, would make it like perfect for the office. Except for like, it's got kind of a giant gathered skirt on it, which is fine. Like, I think if I had a thin enough fabric, it would still be fine and would still look professional. But I think I'd have to look at hacking maybe another skirt onto it. Maybe I look at hacking like a circle skirt onto it or something like that. I think that would be better. But it's also a fabric hog, so it takes a lot of fabric to make this one, and I don't really have that much fabric just kicking around in any one fabric. So I would have to be kind of intentional about it. I think I might have a couple fabrics that I could get away with making it in, where I might be just shy of fabric, or like I could change the skirt to like more of a gathered panel skirt with just like, you know, make the bodice and basically see how much I have left and gather it down and add the button placket to it. And that might be something I explore because again, it's got more of that camp collar on it, which I think is really nice. So this one is definitely up there as an option. I'm really thinking about it. It's just like buckling down and putting in the work when I'm like in this headspace where I'm just like not wanting to work that hard right now, because like I'm working hard at like actual work. The other one I was looking at was the Sew Over It Nicole. This one is a really classic like work shirt dress. Like when I envision work shirt dress in my brain, this is what it looks like. This one has the full collar though, and I think I would like it to be a little drapier with that. So I don't know. Please do like leave any recommendations you have for shirt dresses down below. A lot of the classic shirt dresses that people always recommend, like that McCall's one and that, don't actually come in plus size. So I would love some like actual plus size shirt dress recommendations. I might be talking to Serena about maybe doing something with shirt dresses, so stay tuned for that. So do maybe keep those shirt dress recommendations in your back pocket and let me know which one you'd like me to make, because there's that. So last and not least category is what I'm calling dressy t-shirts. So again, in the spirit of trying to like have that t-shirt, comfy t-shirt vibe, wear a t-shirt and a skirt together, I would really like to make some dressy t-shirts. Right now on my list, I have the Cashmere Dartmouth. This was already on my Make 9 list. I already have the pattern cut out. I don't know what my problem has been lately. I just feel like I'm like bouncing from project to project and not getting anything done, like cutting one thing out, cutting the pattern out, digging the pattern out, getting the fabric out, like not finishing anything. So don't know what that's about. But anyway, I would really like to do the Cashmere Dartmouth. I think that one's definitely going to happen. It's, again, that sort of like wrap style. And I think that wrap style with a skirt, you know, a 3/4 length sleeve, that will look very dressy and very nice. And it will be super comfortable. And I think for the summer, that's like perfect. You know, skirt, pointed toe flats, 3/4 length, wrap top. It's like looks kind of vintage and is still really comfortable and ticks all those boxes, goes with my Stanwick skirts. So I'm excited to make that. I might make more than one depending on how it goes. The other one I'm seriously considering is the Cashmere Carlisle. This one is from their Cashmere Club. That's their monthly pattern subscription. I believe it was actually the first pattern they came out with, maybe, or the second. It was like pretty early on, but as usual, I'm always running behind on things. So yeah, I think that's one I want to do. Let me know, guys know. It comes with either like this poof sleeve or just like a regular straight sleeve, and I'm really having a hard time deciding whether I want to do like the poof or not poof. Like I think the poof would add a little extra, but I'm often not like a poof on top of my shoulder person. So let me know which you think I should make. I have kind of been debating between that one and the Grafton, which is that new pack they have out, but I actually think I want to make the Carlisle more because it's like a single layer. And again, it's been so hot in my office. But do let me know if you know of any other dressy t-shirts. This has been something I've been kind of like searching for, and I'm not really seeing a lot that's like kind of appealing to me. A lot of them are more casual than I think I want to go, and I would like it to look like a maybe a little bit vintage inspired or something. So let me know if you've got any dressy t-shirt ideas. I'd really love to hear that. You know, I think I'm gonna mention it, but like it goes without saying, like I'm probably gonna make a couple more skirts. I love making skirts. It's like one of my favorite things to make because it's just so easy. It's like long straight seams. I have kind of a method of doing them now and I just love it. So I have one that I'm already working on that I'm staring at right now. It's just waiting to get hemmed. It needed to hang for a couple of days. So one is just hanging there that I'm probably going to hem this weekend. And I think I would like a couple more in some neutral colors. As much as I love my lime green skirts, having a couple more neutral options would be good. So the first one after the navy one I think I'm going to do is an olive green. And I was really trying to decide whether I wanted to make it in that same Stanwyck skirt that I always make, elastic back hack. So you know, that might be a good opportunity to actually show you kind of like how I customize my skirts. So if you'd like to see that. The other way I thought about making it was actually recreating my very first video on the channel and doing that 1954 version of the Stanwyck skirt with all the little added darts in it that gives it a little bit more like pizzazz, because it is going to be in like an olive fabric, which is kind of plain. It's like a cotton twill, very functional. So let me know which one you'd like to see. If you'd like to see me make just like my usual favorite hacked Stanwyck skirt, or if you want to see me make the other hacked Stanwyck skirt version that's like their recreation of the 50s pattern. So let me know what you'd like to see me make. I would love to show you guys because I think I've made real progress in my skirt making, and it's basically and obviously what I mostly wear now. I think last but not least, I probably want to make some sort of brown skirt, maybe like a lighter brown, like a khaki. I think that would go with a lot of my stuff, but that one is sort of on the back burner. Again, it's like with fabric and with like the right pattern, maybe something different, maybe something not different. So let me know what you guys thought of this video in general. I actually am kind of excited about this. I think it was really good to do this memademay this year. I think it gave me a lot of insight into my wardrobe actually, and it might be something I do instead of Make 9, because after reviewing everything, I feel very different than I did when I made my Make 9. Well, I mean, I've had a lot of life upheaval since then, so I mean, there's that too. But yeah, I think this was a really good experiment. So let me know what you kind of thought of my work wardrobe. Let me know what you'd like to see me make and add to it, because I'd really like to take you guys along with what I'm making, because it's a lot of fun and I really do want to make some content for this channel, and it's going to be a lot of sewing stuff for work. So let me know. Let me know how your memademay was, if you participated, if you did anything for it, if you like review your wardrobe like this, because I'm very curious to hear how other actual adult human beings put together their wardrobe. And with all that being said, I hope you guys are having a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.